Good morning from here. Warm greetings and good evening also to Brother Nanda, and hello to everyone. Great to have this chance with technology to meet. Encouragement for those who are in a position to come into camera. So it's a smallish group. I think more may join, but it's I think everyone here has got connected to Brother Nanda from the last time we met in morning class. Hi, Prashant. And but I will just give like little introduction, also for those who are be listening on the recording. Based in Malaysia, Brahmin, associated with Brahma Kumaris, I think more than 30 years, and Lokik training, the corporate coach, corporate trainer, and also background in psychology, biochemistry, alternative medicine. When we last met, you were talking about many things, but one aspect was strategies for blessings. And I think that particularly caught Prashant's attention. We all want to know this. And using Baba, and feels connected to today's Murli. You know, Baba says, step of courage, and then I will help, you know. So how to ideas or experience on this would be lovely. The silver lining of COVID, that these conversations across the seas are becoming easier, and so good to benefit from the wealth of the experience of Baba's children all around the world. But I'm going to hand over to Prashant. You might like to say hello and share this point.
Hello to the gathering and hello to Malaysia. You know, so nice to be connected in this nice informal way, but opportunity to have a discussion, but also share and hear your experience in this very, very specialized field of blessings. So, looking forward to that. Also want to say that here also we have got Constantina, you know, she's also joining us.
Great. Hi to Constantina. I'm sure we'll be hearing from you as well shortly. Lovely. So yeah, I think you've recognized some faces. Perhaps, of course, you connected with Rosemary. Hello to Rosemary across the way. Manoj in Ireland. Senem is based in London, and I know we're connected to Netherlands and mainly UK, I think, so far as well. So, Brother Nanda, good evening, and look forward to hearing your thoughts, and we'll open it up after initial sharing for more a discussion. But it'd be great to hear from you. What's alive for you at the moment in the subject of blessings, or anything in general that you'd like to bring to the sharing today? Welcome.
Thank you, Sister Sarah. Thank you, everyone. And firstly, it's so awesome, amazing to actually know we have a Gyan discussion like this. Maybe it's very unique because in the Asian side, maybe we think slightly different, more like a one-way kind of classes. That's what people prefer. And Asians are generally quieter. So this is really good. So okay, I was invited to just share some of the experiences, especially yoga experiences, and on the particular subject of blessings. So I'll just share some points, and you can always ask questions in between because it's going to be a conversation. And please help me to go deeper, ask more questions. That will really be helpful. Let me just quickly tell you, I came to Gyan when I was 20 years old. That was like 33, 34 years back. And I was in the university, and I took Gyan in a very unofficial way where one brother who had just finished a 6 months class, 6 months, 7-day course, quickly taught me everything. And then I started reading Murli and reading Adidev, and that's it. And I had no connection with the center, but of course I used to get the Murlis through this brother. And I used to ask Baba, Baba, I'm so far away in university, and I've never been to the center. How do I even meditate? Can you please teach me? And that's how it all started. So I will wake up at Amrit Vela and I will say, Baba, I have no idea how to meditate and what I'm doing. Can you please teach me? And so it began how Baba taught me what blessings was in my very early days of Gyan and how I could use that. And Baba kept teaching me different things. And when finally I got connected with the center after a year or two, and I found that I have learned so many stuff, so many techniques that some are not even aware. And so I was really thrilled that how is it that Baba could teach me all these things? So I will just share a few things. Firstly is the Amrit Vela. How do I make the Amrit Vela really exciting? And one of my focuses for a very long time has been to gain new experiences. And in the very early days, I used to read this Avyat Murli. And one day I read this Avyat Murli, the 2nd of February, 1969. And in that, Baba just said, this is how Baba teaches me. I read the Murli and the next day I practice it. So there was this word, Baba said, if you want to talk to me and if your conversation needs to feel real, that you are really talking to me, then you have to deeply stabilize yourself in the Avyat stage. In the Avyat stage, and once you're stabilized, all you have to do is have this deep desire to actually want to meet me. That's it. That was 2nd of February, 1969. And it stuck in my head. And then the next day, I will just sit in Baba, what is the Avyat stage and how do I do it? Initially, I couldn't understand, I couldn't get it. As I started reading more Murlis, then came newer points where the second trigger point, which was, Baba said that the word I and my can actually bring you down, or it can actually create a lot of power in you. And then he went on to say, whenever you say I and my, bring the awareness of yourself as the soul. And then that awareness creates power. So now I took these 2 points, the Avyat stage and the I and my. And I told Baba, you have to teach me how to stabilize in the Avyat stage in a very, very deep soul conscious state. And so I said, so as I said, I really didn't know. I was a very new child. And then I said, Baba, how do I use this I and my? So I kept sitting and then a thought came. Every time you say I or my or mind or me, you have to bring the awareness to yourself behind the eyes inside the head. And so I did practice that. So later on, I made it into my own strategy, and that I started calling it as strategy number 1 or step number 1 in becoming powerful. Step number 1 was sit behind the eyes, look out through the eyes, whatever you call it, it doesn't matter. Looking out through the eyes, and then start creating pure thoughts. But it didn't work. The reason was I was doing it wrongly. You see, example, let me tell you. Let's say you tell yourself, you talk to yourself, I am God's child. I belong to the bestower of fortune. And then you go on. Now, when you say, I am God's child, now think carefully, you don't have to answer me. Or when you say, I belong to the bestower of fortune, the bestower of fortune belongs to me, does that pure words, pure thoughts transform into a sort of power which strengthens the feeling of yourself as a soul? So there wasn't that power initially. So I used to talk to myself, I'm a soul, I'm a soul, I'm a soul, I'm in this body. And then I was saying, Baba, but nothing's happening. I'm not getting stabilized. Then I tried differently. I said, Baba, how do I do it? So I became very silent. And then I said, I am the soul. For some reason, when I said the word I, this time it was different. I strayed away the attention. It was like when I said I, something was like dragging me and saying, point to yourself. I am God's child. I am the child of the bestower. I am now with Baba. Baba is with me. So every time the word I, my, me, I spoke that pure thoughts in my head, but attention going to I, my, me, it became so powerful. Pure thoughts were becoming such powerful thoughts because the awareness was getting very strong. So ultimately, that powerful awareness somehow started to change into a very, very different kind of pure feelings. And then the mind and the intellect just stopped thinking. It became so stabilized. And then in between it, I inject a few words just to sustain that momentum. Now, from that, I understood, Baba, is this what do you mean by stabilizing? Because when it was so deeply stabilized, no thoughts, even if I started thinking about something else, it immediately pulled me back. So each time I went very slowly at Amrit Vela. In fact, until today, this is my practice. I will speak to myself very slowly for 5-10 minutes before going to bed at night and immediately in the morning. I and my and me and as I create these powerful thoughts with this powerful awareness, the mind and intellect becomes very silent. We have not come to the blessings yet. So this was the very first step, which I've understood from the 2nd of February, 1969 Murli. And then now that I've understood, I've got the key to the door of claiming the blessings, which was stabilize myself in the Avyat stage. But this was a stage where immediately I told Baba something else. And this was the start of claiming blessings. I told Baba, Baba, this feels so unique. I'm so detached from the body. I just feel that this body is like a coat hanging over me, and it's just there. This entire body, it feels that I am staying there, and this thing is just hanging on me. But this is so amazing. Remember, I was just a few months in Gyan, and I have no idea. And when I told the friend who gave me the course, he just brushed me off. I think this is wrong. So I said, okay, thank you, but doesn't matter. I just went on. So this feeling was so good. Now then I said to Baba, Baba, can you, I'm not sure why I said this, but I said, Baba, can you be this, my permanent gift for Sangam Yuga? And then I asked Baba one more thing. I looked into Baba's eyes. When you're in this stage, it's like Baba appears in front of you without you thinking and without me thinking, and Baba's right there. And I looked into Baba's eyes and I said, Baba, can you make this very strong? Can you make this permanent for Sangam Yuga? And I kept taking Drishti and it became so concentrated. But I didn't know what happened. I didn't know whether this was a gift. And then that following, after Amrit Vela, as I went to my classes and all, a few things started to happen. This thought, in between my classes, my break time, whenever people come to talk to me, there is someone or something which keeps intercepting my thought and saying, if you forgot, you need to become bodiless. Baba's here. And it kept provoking me and telling me, practice, 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 practice. And there was something telling my intellect, go back to your experience, go back to your experience, sustain it, sustain it. And this is when the next day when I started to sit and analyze, I realized this is what is called the sustenance from the mother and father as blessings. The blessings are just like a mother who tells the children, hey, don't do that, come back to the right path. This blessing was sustaining me and making me do such easy efforts. I understood that this was blessing. And then as I didn't realize, remember I had asked Baba, can this blessing be anytime, be available when I need it? I just said it, but I didn't know. So whenever I summon this blessing, I will just say, I need to become Avyat now. That's it. The blessing seems to be just rushing from somewhere, and immediately I go back into my original, the first experience of becoming Avyat, and Baba will just be there. So this kind of blessings, I realize, can be claimed from Baba. Because in Bhakti stories, it is said that once Shiva gives, he himself cannot take it back. I remember that. So now that I've understood that blessings can be claimed like this, I started to use it as a tool, as like I became really cunning, not cunning in the bad way, but cunning in like talking to Baba, Baba, I want more of this. I want this. I need this. I need this. I need this. I need help. Example of blessing is like, Baba, whenever someone comes and talks to me some nonsense, due to my old sanskar, I sometimes get pulled and I start talking about that. Could you please intercept and say, child, stop, it's unnecessary, walk away. Can I have these blessings? So I used to talk to Baba like that. And what happened was, when I asked, it really happened throughout the day. So when somebody comes and talks, that thought comes, child, don't do this, go away. So I realized that this was different blessings. This was a blessing of effort making. One was the effort of Sangam Yuga in my definition. And here I'm having an effort for a daily effort. So I've understood that now I can claim blessings for daily effort. I can claim for blessings for Sangam Yuga. And then I purposely experimented with Baba and said, Baba, do you think I can get blessings for the high copper age and iron age? And I sat thinking and said, but what blessings would I take for copper and iron? So after a year, when I connected with the center, this one brother from Brother Ganesh, he's in Sri Lanka, he's heading Sri Lanka now. So he said, Brother Nanda, you seem to be, you can speak well. Would you like to just do a small 10 minutes talk on anything you like? And I was brand new. I have no idea. And all these Brahmins who are sitting in front of me are like so old. I mean, it's quite senior. So I said it, Amritwell, huh? And just before that, Dadi Janki had told a story. So I started copying Dadi Janki. Dadi Janki said, one day Baba told her to give a talk. And it was the first time. And Dadi said, Baba, what do I do? What do I speak? These people seem to be very knowledgeable. And Baba said, don't worry. When you open your mouth, anyone in front of you will bow to you. This is your blessings. And Brahma Baba told, Shiv Baba must be through Brahma Baba, probably gave her this blessing. And Dadi said, from that day onwards, when I speak, everybody keeps quiet and listen. That's what Dadi said. And I became so intoxicated. And I said, Baba, can I get this? Can I get this blessing? This Brother Ganesh is asking me to talk. I have no idea what to talk. So, Baba, I would like to ask you, if I were to do Baba's service from now, remember, I was just 21 years old, brand new. And I was asking Baba, Baba, can you give me these blessings? When I start talking, people must pay attention and they must feel they've got something from me. Can you do that, Baba? So I'm not sure. I just spoke to Baba and practiced, Baba. This is what I'm going to say. I'm going to say Om Shanti 3 times. Okay, I'm just going to do this. I'm going to point to this. I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this. But I need your help. So my turn came during that family bhatti and we were having workshop and I was called in front for 10 minutes. I stood there and there was this whiteboard with that chart on top of it. And I said, Om Shanti. I'm not sure. Suddenly something took over me. It's like I don't know, special spiritual power. My sanskar suddenly turned. I'm not sure what happened. But when I said Om Shanti, everyone became quiet and it became absolutely silent. I was so intoxicated. And the image of Amrit Vela being in front of Baba telling, don't worry, it's all yours. It was just like that. And I spoke, and after 10 minutes, they were all like so silent and looking at me. Later, Brother Ganesh came and gave me a special blessing. He said, I think you are going to be a great speaker. I had never realized. And it happened later on in my Lokik life and also in Brahman life. So all this activity during this Amrit Vela of claiming blessings made it very strong that I can go on taking whatever I want from Baba. So it became a blessings. Some blessings are like for Sangam Yuga. Some blessings are like I need to renew it on a daily basis because I need to make certain effort. Like example, after last week's Murli, Avyat Murli, I spoke to Baba and said, Baba, my unlimited disinterest is very poor. It's not solid yet. And because of that, I'm stabilizing in the bodiless stage is becoming very difficult. Can you please remind me again and again that I have to be in this unlimited disinterest stage? And so it happens. So sometimes I will say, Baba, the moment I wake up, I would like this thought to emerge. Can you make it a blessing? But remember, this blessing becomes, for me, this blessing becomes permanent or very deep only if I am stabilized in that avyat stage, and then I'm directing these blessings towards myself, and as if I'm making it my own. That's when it becomes really real. and it's applicable throughout the day. So this, and the next one, which I asked, continuing from the talk, the blessing, then it felt like, Baba, I have now gained this ability to talk. I'm not sure how, but every time I go and start talking in some class or whatever, 7-day course or whatever, so this automatically, this awareness starts coming. But then what was more intoxicating the happiness was, I started to go back into my teenage life. I used to sit at Amritwala and talk to Baba about my teenage life. Baba, what blessings did I claim and became permanent for the Kali Yuga and Copper Age? Would you be able to tell me what did I claim in last Kalpa Sangam Yuga, which became permanent in this Kali Yuga? So I used to do this kind of talking and experimenting with Baba. And as I started to experiment, I realized that 20 years before coming to Baba, certain strength was so deeply embedded in me. And those strengths were very similar to the blessings I had claimed. And so this started making me think, could it be that certain blessings became permanent and I was using it in Copper Age and Kali Yuga? But how do I know if this is real? Is it my own imagination? I used to challenge myself. I don't believe my own churnings. I challenge it, and as a scientific sanskar, you want to see it with some proof. So I will take these blessings and immediately tell Baba, Baba, I'm going to take this blessing and apply it to this relative of mine. I'm going to try it like this, try it like this, try it like this, try it like this. And I would like to see these results happening. How do I do it? Can you give me these blessings? And then on that day, I will go on service purposely. It's an intentional experimentation of blessings. Maybe that's what we call as experimentation. So it's an intentional practice, a deliberate, proactive kind of action. I will do that, meet that person, and I will say, Baba, I'm going to use this on this person. And I would like to, after this, make it permanent and also use it in the next cycle, that when I see people, meet people, I must be as generous as this. I'm going to try it out. So I kept trying and trying and trying, and it became really, really amazing. So this was the beginning of my adventure into trying out with blessings. Would you like to ask me some questions? I'm not sure. Should I go on speaking, or am I supposed? Sorry, I'm not sure at all.
No, that's fine. It's good, and it is like getting the context. And what is nice is there's like an innocence about the beginning of the journey and having to be proactive without the structure. So I'm really enjoying that. It's the innocence, but I think also because I came to knowledge in the Far East, and it is a different culture. I don't know if it's the religious background, but to be from a Christian country, there's such a feeling of formality about the whole thing with God. So this, going straight into this mother, father in a very natural way. I mean, I could feel things more in the cultural context of Cambodia than I perhaps did when I came back here, just my own experience. So the combination of the youthful innocence and the kind of straight into the challenging and relationship of getting Baba involved, but also the culture maybe having influence perhaps. That's what I was really enjoying. And it's like Baba can afford to work with you in the Avyak stage. So you're in your in clarity, the soul, he can use that. But if we're in the beggar mindset, he's not going to give a blessing when we are reinforcing the wrong sanskaras. So there's a secret there, I think. Would anyone like to share anything at this stage, or and come into sound, Prashant? No.
Just wanted to ask, you mentioned you would apply the blessing in interaction with others and look for evidence. What is the evidence you were looking for? What did you observe?
Okay. I would try it. Let me just recall a few. One of the thing which I remember is there used to be some people who are always talking waste, and they were actually disturbing my effort, and I couldn't tell them off because number one, I wasn't a senior, I was new, and I was always feeling these souls are not really following Srimad. And I don't want to have waste thoughts because that is the poison that brings to the destruction. That waste thoughts dirties my divine intellect, which is probably the next subject I'm going to touch. And it destroys the ability of me to claim my next blessing the next morning at Amritville. So I used to ask Baba, this person is so disturbing me. I can't even do service. And for some reason, these brothers are just getting attracted to me, and not in the wrong way, but they just love to come and talk and talk and talk. And I have no peace. Is there a way I can make them be quiet? What do I do? So then I told Baba and asked Baba, I need your blessings today. This was very early, okay, but this was so powerful. That's what I'm sharing. Baba, what do you think I should do? I can't ask them to be quiet. They'll argue with me or probably just, just shut me down or whatever. So I asked Baba, what should I do? So I told Baba, I am now going to give a very powerful drishti to them as they speak. Because I couldn't do it. When people are speaking, and if we just look into their eyes, they will think, what are you doing? You're not listening to me, you're just staring into the eyes. So I said, Baba, I need this courage where I would like to give drishti to this person as this person talks. And I would like my deep, pure feelings to just go inside. And I would like them to keep quiet and move away from me. So that discussion with Baba went on. Baba, how do I do it? How do I do it? So I used to sit and list down like strategies. Okay, first step, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. Baba, this is what I'm going, this is my plan, and I'm putting it in front of you. I really can't stand this person. I need to make them quiet and move away from me. And I used to put this plan and not sure at all whether this plan is going to work. And then it so happens, because in the year, second, third, fourth year, they've assigned me to look after the media department, which was actually growing very fast. So we used to export books and create so many stuffs in Malaysia. And so I used to be very busy in the center. And these brothers, I used to spend about 3-4 hours or throughout the day, from morning up to evening, doing this work. So these brothers just walk in and disturb me. So one day after these blessings, as this brother came to talk to me, he just sat there and made that whole place like his and started talking. And I just looked into eyes and said, Baba, I need your help. I looked into his eyes and just without withdrawing my gaze, I just kept looking. And this brother just quietened down and just said, okay, I'll talk to you later. Looks like you're busy. Wow, I'm not sure it just worked. And I said, Baba, thank you so much. And I went on trying all these things. So similarly, I will like, Baba, I'm going today to this place. I am thinking that this is how it's going to be. This should happen. This is the result I would like to have. Visualize it very powerfully. Talk to Baba about all the details, and then just go there and say, Baba, this is what I'm hoping to happen. And so it starts to happen in that way. So it's the result became so powerful, the evidence became, although it's very small initially, but it became overwhelmingly, it became convincing to me that I might be on the right track. And so one of my greatest blessing of all time in Confluence Age was, when I met Baba in Om Shanti Bhavan, I mean, early days, 90s and so on. And Baba said, I am giving all of you a gift today. Do you know what gift is that? And I thought, Baba, what is a gift? What's a blessing? Why are you using the word gift, blessing? You're confusing me. I was having this conversation in front of Baba. Baba, what are you talking? What gift is that? This is my gift. Your gift is when you say, Mera Baba from your heart, I will be present. And so immediately I sat the next morning and said, Baba, I am now going to negotiate with you a very special thing. And that is when I say Mera Baba from my heart, with a lot of love, you must come in front of me and give me such powerful drishti and immediately stabilize me. So that was so excellent. But then Brother Prashant has asked for evidence. What was that? Now, I became caught in Maya after 5 or 6 years, and I became so bad. And I just couldn't. So I told the head of Malaysia, Brother Lechu at that time, I said, Brother, I'm going to take leave from Brahman life. I'm not coming back for time being. I'm not leaving, but I'm taking a short leave, maybe a year. And I want to do studies. Lechu just looked at me. It's up to you. So I handed over all the keys and whatever I was handling and just walked away from the center. And I became a total lazy person for the next 1-2 months because I wasn't making effort. I just told Baba, I'm not interested. I'm so tired of all this stuff. Leave me alone. But then this word will come back. When I start to fluctuate at Amritwell, I'll still wake up from Amritwell and say, Mera Baba. Although, remember, I wasn't going for Murli class. I was trying to do it on my own because I didn't like things in the center. It's a Maya. So I started having it on my own. I read the Murli on my own. I sat on my own. I would say, Mera Baba. Baba will still come in front of me immediately. And every time I say, Mera Baba from now, just for at least few seconds, that powerful vibrations, Baba's in front of me with his drishti coming in, again and again comes. It became such a powerful platform or a tool for me to jumpstart whenever I'm down. I just have to say, Mera Baba, and look into his eyes, Baba's eyes. And then there's so much of awareness. Immediately there's a feeling I am a soul detached from the body. The body is just hanging on me. So it became like such a strong evidence that these blessings were actually working. So this Mera Baba, again and again and again, I summon it as I like. That means as I'm not at Amritwala, at any time, I'm just sitting for a short while and I'll say, Mera Baba. And then Baba just comes in. And then I had one more word. I belong to Dilaram Baba. Remember, I belong to Dilaram Baba. And it became such a powerful. So within few seconds, few minutes, it recharges. This blessing has so much of power, it like recharges yourself. And then it puts me back into track to practice bodiless again and again. So this is one way. But however, as we progress, the divine intellect gets dirty very fast. And being in my Lokik job of meeting people and 8 hours a day, I need to train people and talk to them with 30, 40 people in front of me, teaching them about business strategies and so on. Drags me. The divine intellect gets dirty. Eyes becomes mischievous sometimes. Sometimes the attention goes away. So then I asked Baba, how do I look after my divine intellect? It's so difficult. The people in front of me are very lustful people, especially the Kali people. They come in front, they sit. The vibrations are so powerful at times. They have so much of anger. They have so much of frustrations. I'm not powerful enough. How do I get my divine intellect not affected? And last week's Murli also answered that. So I used to practice becoming bodiless about 50 times a day. I used to keep a chart. Bodiless for 2 minutes, just like that. Bodiless again and again, summoning the bodiless blessings which I had got, which I call it as the Sangam Yuga blessings. So I will summon that blessing. Baba, I need to become bodiless now. Please help. And somehow Baba as a mother or father or Sadguru seemed to like immediately put me in that position. So that bodilessness stage is like an injection and it puts me back in a stabilized position. Then I feed myself, the I and the my, pure thoughts. I feed myself for the next few minutes, sustain this very powerful stage again. But sometimes I fail. And so the next day at Amritwala, it becomes very dirty. And I can't concentrate, feel a bit sleepy. The tiredness comes in. So fluctuation is there. The sometimes is always there. Yeah. So this is that. So this is some of the evidences. There was, I'm not sure, maybe you have gone through this kind of blessings. You know, there used to be retreats in Malaysia. We call it as Asian retreat. And sometimes in the beginning, I used to be in charge of the kitchen. And then when the retreat starts, I will get a fever and I'm not sure, some infection has happened. And I will tell Baba, Baba, can you postpone this thing? I need special blessings. Can you postpone this thing? I'll get sick immediately after the retreat. And so it happens for the next 3 days, it disappears, and immediately the retreat finishes, the fever comes back. It's very awkward, but that happens. So this kind of bargaining, this kind of, in a very joking manner, fun manner, was so interesting. And I used to do it for almost everything. And I will challenge Baba, okay, I'm going to challenge you at Amritwala. I'll wake up at 2 sometimes, not all the time. Sometimes and say, Baba, I'm going to take 100 steps and you need to help me. I'm going to take 100 steps, but in these 100 steps, I need to hold myself as a point and I'm going to walk for the next 10 minutes around my garden. And I will walk at 2 a.m. around my garden holding this. And immediately after that, Baba, I've done it. All right, I've done it. Yeah, a little bit I got distracted, but I still did it. Could you make this a blessings for the day? And so throughout the day, it automatically comes back whenever I'm walking, moving, and it becomes like. Sometimes I will say, Baba, I want to cook in a very detached way. I want to feel that I am the charioteer sitting in this body. My hands are cooking and I'm watching my hands moving. Can you help me make this firm? I need these blessings today. Would you be able to help me? All right, I'm going to do it, Baba. So immediately after Amritwala, I will start cooking. And Baba, you need to help me now. You need to make this very strong. And throughout the day, whenever I'm moving my hands, you need to bring that attention again and make me think I am the charioteer. Make my soul conscious stronger and stronger. This kind of blessings, negotiation in a friendly way, bargaining, and being proactive really made new experiences. There was one very striking experience. I was in Bali. And Janki Ben had invited me. Janki Ben was in charge in Bali. So she said, Nanda, you come, stay here for 10 days, and then you sustain the PKs in Indonesia. You can speak the Indonesian language, so it's good. So I went there and I started speaking and gave class. But it was so unique that one day I was sitting in Baba's room, and that Baba's room was quite huge. They had a huge Baba's picture in the Baba's room. I was just sitting there at about 2:30, 3 a.m. in the morning, Baba, and looking at Baba and saying, Baba, what are you doing? What are you looking at? Are you looking at me now? But remember, it's I, my, that same practice has to be there in Amritwala. So I was talking, Baba, what are you doing to me? What are you looking at? Can you tell me? Well, what are you doing? This kind of conversation. And then sometimes forget it. I mean, don't compare and don't judge me. It could be my own imagination, but it's okay. Then I suddenly felt that Baba said something like, it's just in my thoughts. It's like, child, I'm decorating you. Baba, how will you decorate me? How is it even possible? Baba, can you teach me this? And so something really different happened. And Baba said, it's not Baba saying, sorry, it's just my thought maybe. And the thought came, now switch positions with me. Baba, what are you saying? Switch positions with me. If you are me and I'm you, you're looking at me. I'm your child. How will you look at me? You are perfect. I'm not perfect. How will you look at me? How will you decorate me? How will you give your sanskar to me? How will God's sanskar become my sanskar? Baba is decorating me by taking his sanskar and trying to make it my sanskar. And so I thought, wow, this is amazing. Which means I can now, it's like a new door open to me. I can now experiment how to experience God's sanskar, pick that and make it into mine. How do I sit in God's sanskar, experience that, and then that experience, take it into myself and make it part of me? That was so amazing. It was like a new door kept opening every time. And I just loved Bali after that. And of course, so I used to do this. So every time when I feel I have a very weak sanskar, which I've just discovered, I will talk to Baba. Baba, this is my weakest sanskar. It's troubling me. I have a lot of ego, Baba. And all of a sudden, after 20 years, a new ego has emerged. I'm starting to think I'm really good. I'm starting to think that I can speak so very well. This is not right. How do I change this? How do I become as egoless, as humble as you? Can you teach me? So this kind of playfulness, call it playfulness or experimentation. Each day, it's like I want to open new doors. But the key to all this is to be able to sit in that deep avyat stage, or that deep feeling of being a soul, a charioteer, whatever you call it, in your own terms. Mm-hmm. And then speaking to yourself, inducing that temporary purity. The sanskar is really not pure, but we can induce that temporary purity for that period, that moment, that Amrit Vela, by actually creating these pure thoughts. So these pure thoughts induces that intellect's purity to a higher level. And so it becomes really easy to practice and to take or absorb or blessings or whatever. So this was really good. It was like another door kept opened. And so I keep experimenting like this. So this is what actually sustains me. And yeah, let me just stop here for a moment.
Well, we have maybe around 10 minutes left, and it's been nice to hear maybe Constantina's in Cambridge, and we were talking about bringing this into everyday life, and I know you were mentioning karma yoga yesterday, and so some of the points you mentioned, Nanda, about 50 times practicing for 2 minutes, things like that, the kind of break felt quite relevant, so that propped up. But Constantina, would you like to share anything at this point, or any comments?
Just that there was a lot of newness in what we were just hearing, and it felt like there are so many doorways to little miracles almost, and that's probably what happens when we are in alignment with the divine. I suppose for me it's an invitation, just hearing your sharings, it's an invitation to develop a personal relationship with Baba. I think that's what was coming very strongly. But knowing things that came up, I suppose, as you were talking, is that kind of, first of all, get into that space of soul awareness. We need to meet Baba there. And it's from that place that this kind of miracles happen and start reflected in everyday life. But there was a lot of concentration, I suppose, in the way you are, what we are asking. The other thing that came to mind is when you ask, you receive. That was very, I suppose, evident there, that when I ask for something, which is in alignment with the teaching and my purpose, that, Baba will give that back. So, it's a two-way relationship. And it needs to be like this.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Constantina, as well, for highlighting that. And it's so true, that's a concentration, conviction, determination, energy, and with lightness. Was nice. And Aldous had hand raised, so come to the Netherlands.
Shanti, hello. Good to see you back online. And yes, very, very nice to hear one's own personal experiences with Baba. That creates the aliveness and gives inspiration. I think for this soul, I'm taking the blessing that you got from Daddy Yankee on me today. And I'm trusting Baba in that. The question is about, you were talking about practicing 50 times the bodiless stage. Now, I know you yourself are busy in the role that you're playing. So when you're on the stage, you need to use your mind and your brain. So when do you do the bodiless stage? 50 times. And what do you mean when you say I'm practicing bodiless stage? Could you decode that a bit?
Thank you. Okay. All right. Thank you, Sister Aldous. Initially, it was first year, second year in Gyan. I used to have a chart where I used to think, and I will practically stop in front of anyone, anywhere. I just don't care. Because I've not grasped the bodilessness stage yet. So I will stand in front of any BK and just say, hang on, let me practice bodilessness. And I will just tell them like that innocently. And I'll just become so still, I won't move. And I will just become a point and concentrate at a point and just hold myself there. But as I kept doing this, the BKs around me felt this brother is is so frozen at times. It's not practical. Of course, I was a new child and intoxicated of trying all these things. It was so happy. I didn't care. So I used to do it and just do it and just do it and say, Baba, I just don't care. You just keep helping me, helping me, helping me. So after practicing for a very long period of time, a very senior brother looked at me and said, you know what? I think this is all wrong. What you're doing is wrong. Just stop it. And I've just felt very brokenhearted. I said, okay, I will not do this anymore. And so I put away my chart. And then I started talking to Baba. Baba, you are asking me to become incorporeal. You're asking me to hold myself as a point, walk like a point, move like a point, and travel. When you're traveling, be incorporeal and travel in trains and whatever, in car, whatever. And here this brother who's very senior is telling me, no, you shouldn't do that. People will misjudge you. This is not right. And so I was really brokenhearted. But then that practice for many years had made that foundation very strong, although it was very physical and appeared very robotic. And as I spoke to Baba, it's like an answer was coming in. No, you don't have to do that. But you can take Baba's help. Baba will remind you. And you don't have to be like a robot. You can still be ordinary. People don't even know you're practicing bodiless stage. And then I used to ask Baba, Baba, how do I do that? And so another deep discussion will start coming back. And so throughout the day, these special blessings, which I will remind Baba almost every day. Baba, please remind me to become bodiless today. I've got a target to achieve. So somehow this thought keeps coming back. It's exactly not our own effort because it's just too difficult. Body consciousness is just too strong. And so Baba just is like, when I stopped speaking for a while, especially in my trainings, in my consultations and so on, I will just quickly, it reminds me, go back to your. And so I'll just look at people and become a point. So this practice became very natural that people now didn't realize that I was being a point whilst looking at them. But I fluctuate at times. It's not all the time. I couldn't keep count 50 times. But roughly I know that by lunch, if I'm not feeling a certain stage, my bodiless practice is not up to standard. It's not reached the target. And by night, if there's too much of tiredness and there's not enough of silence where I cannot summon the silence and go back into silence immediately, then I know that the bodiless practice is not enough throughout the day. This is my like a barometer. So it's like when I summon it, it's like the silence, I need to become a point now. Immediately it becomes very silent, very calm, very quiet. It's probably a blessing, help from Baba. And if that doesn't happen, I know I've done a mistake. So I punish myself, not really punish. I just do an extra effort. Before I sleep half an hour again, I will go into, say, about 15 times of bodilessness every 1 minute whilst walking, moving. It's like a practice before I go to. But sometimes I do become callous, and so it's not powerful again, the Amrit Vela, at times. So this is how it has evolved. But I don't think, I mean, for me, I don't think I can do it alone. It's not possible. There's just too much of distraction in my work. Especially, I need to think so much. And so Baba's blessing and Baba's help has to be there. And that makes it a success. Yeah. I hope I'm answering you, Sister Aldous. I'm not sure. I've evolved that bodilessness. But now, after very long practice, it seems to be coming on and off, broken, not continuous, but comes back again and again. So it becomes very natural at times.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for exploring that with us. Very useful.
So maybe creating a few more moments. If anyone else would like to share or add anything, you can type or come into sound. And I like this newness. Yeah, I'll hear from Manoj. Let's come to Ireland.
Thank you, Baba. It was a wonderful reminder of the fun of experimentation and getting back to the stage. So yes, it served as a really good reminder and nice yuktis too. Good. Thank you, Baba. And yes, could also feel the blessings as was delivered, and even blessings in the Iron Age were here. Good, Baba.
Yeah. I always felt that, especially the 108 souls, they must have been blessed so much that they would have had almost more than 80 births of theirs, probably so smooth and so easy. And one of the proofs of, I forgot to tell you, Brother Prashant asked me for evidence. One of the proofs of blessings in my life was, I have never faced obstacles from people in my life until now. And there's no Brahmin who has ever clashed sanskars with me. And I'm so amazed. So I keep thinking, how is that possible that nobody's clashing with me? Somebody has to come and argue or fight with me. Why is this not happening? So even if they say something, it doesn't seem to affect me and doesn't appear big at all. So it just goes away. So something which we should have done could be a blessing. And what exactly is that blessing? I've not explored yet, but it could be a blessing from Sangam Yuga. Could be.
It's quite a nice invitation because there's an expression in English, count your blessings. So we all have, there are all facets, aren't there? So many. And coming to knowledge itself is an extraordinary thing. And it's in the context of overcoming Maya, isn't it? Because the soul is already immortal, but it's only our beggar within that is blocking the sovereign, the prince. So Baba's giving us, and even things that happen that seem bad, like Baba said today, you change, what was the way he said it? Negative into positive. So, just the way he is seeing us and the way we can see ourselves and the way we see the world, it's like compound blessings in a way. But to keep counting them, keep seeing them, emerging them, playing with them, you've definitely inspired us today. Prashant, anything you want to add from there? Any final thoughts?
And no, greatly appreciate, and we got enough to work on now.
There's a song that what's that?
We will be kept busy.
Prashant is too humble.
One sister who likes to supply Hindi songs, she sent this one, and apparently the title or the main word is, it says, "The moment I think about the world, Shiv Baba thinks for me." So I thought we could listen to some of the song. But before that, Brother Nanda, anything you'd like to share finally?
No, I've taken a lot of the time. All right. So I'm sure many of you had better experiences. So it's just my sharing. Yeah.
Well, I think, this special time is that we are blessed by the souls who've had the opportunity to reflect over years. And, it's like Baba's saying, you get the fruit of it, however long we've been associated with knowledge. So I feel that all Baba's children are a blessing in a way to the larger family. So, really enjoying hearing everyone has their unique way of sharing. And yeah, as you say, everyone here has experiences. So we have to create another time to experiment and then share what we've found and see the evidence. Shiv Prashant, who likes to see the evidence. Thank you so much. Kindi, let's hear some final thoughts from Kindi from London. Kindi has a hand. Hello.
Oh, sorry, I'm Shanti. I just wanted to say thank you so much. It was really a beautiful topic. And I feel so much like, especially soul consciousness, that body consciousness is really difficult. And I listen to meditation and I feel really powerful. But when I step out, I become body conscious again. So I really like the sharing that Brother talked about, like practicing like 50 times. And that was really helpful. Another thing, I feel like Baba is directing me, because I wasn't planning to join this morning. I was just like, my email suddenly pops up and Heather comes up, and then it just said, join this link at 10:17. I joined, and I feel like something's happening, and Baba turns me and I learned something. So yeah, thank you so much. It was a wonderful sharing. I've like inspired. I want to do a chart as well. I need to do a chart. So thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Baba definitely uses media. And Rodi, let's hear from you.
Hello, Shanti. It was an amazing. Thank you, brother. It was amazing. Really, it was inspiring. I just want to really add something that happened to me about 4 days ago. After the meditation, I don't know if it is relevant or not, but I just feel like that I want to share it. Actually, I was almost maybe dying because of something was just falling into my head, like something really a metal. But I was just, after meditating, it's impossible to get away from that. I mean, it's just, I don't know, something miraculous just happened to me. And I realized that that's the touching of Baba, I think, because of it's impossible. I just looked at it and I just looked up and down and just realized that what's going on here. I mean, it's just impossible to get away from that. It's just touching a little bit my hair, but it didn't touch my head. And I didn't even think about it, what could happen. But I think that was like a miracle that something happened. And thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, the word miracle is relevant, isn't it? With what Baba is doing in a way. He's changing and reviving the angelic soul, that we have this to work with. So maybe we finish with some moments with the song, and now Sujata, we'll hear from Sujata before the song. Everyone's getting inspired last minute.
Om Shanti, Om Shanti. Just wanted to say thank you to Brother Nanda. I just felt when you were sharing Baba's vibration, you were so enthusiastic. We could just feel it. That's your first blessing you were talking about when you share that Baba said, oh, we would just concentrate. I felt that. And really, Sarah, it would be good to have, if possible, another call on waves. I think Brother Nanda shared about waves, and that's really helped me with the meditation right now. So if you can, please help us with the waves theory on soul and how to be with the ocean of waves. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, nice. I don't know if Nanda remembers talking about that, but it's good.
In Malaysia, we have run that course called the resonance healing. So this is the theory of the waves. Yeah, I do that here.
Yeah. So that sounds like a good way to follow up on another call sometime. But great to go back to our own laboratory and put into place some of the blessings of today. Thanks so much to everyone, and we'll finish with some of Baba's vibrations with this collective energy. Thank you all. Om Shanti.
Practice time, no?
Practice.
It's
Yeah,
time to practice now. Enough of theory.
Workshop starts now. Yeah.
Exactly. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Brother Shanti. Mm-hmm.
जिस घड़ी सोचता मैं जग के लिए, मेरे लिए सोचता है शिव बाबा। जिस घड़ी सोचता मैं जग के लिए, मेरे लिए सोचता है शिव बाबा। कोई सोचे ना सोचे मेरे लिए, कोई सोचे ना सोचे मेरे लिए, कोई सोचे ना सोचे मेरे लिए, हर घड़ी सोचता है शिव बाबा। जिस घड़ी सोचता मैं जग के लिए, मेरे लिए सोचता है शिव बाबा। मुझको जो चाहिए था जीवन में, मैंने सब पाया है, कमी न रही। मुझको जो चाहिए था जीवन में, मैंने सब पाया है, कमी न रही। मेरे द्वारा किसी को क्या देना, मेरे द्वारा किसी को क्या देना, मेरे द्वारा किसी को क्या देना। हर घड़ी सोचता है शिव बाबा। जिस घड़ी सोचता मैं जग के लिए, मेरे लिए सोचता है शिव बाबा।
Om Shanti.